Let's make some dump ranch dressing. Once you've tried this, you'll never buy ranch again. Here's the ingredient lineup for dump ranch. It seems like a lot, but this is really simple to make. You're gonna need a large mason jar. This is a quart size, good quality extra virgin olive oil. These are the basic ingredients here. 2 eggs. You're gonna need about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I've got that there. You're gonna need some apple cider vinegar. Usually I crush up a fresh clove of garlic or 2, but I don't have any, so I'm gonna use some garlic granules. And also it has onion powder and garlic powder in it, sea salt, paprika, and I like a lot of pepper. You can do it to taste. About 1/4 cup of chopped fresh parsley and about 3 tablespoons or more. I like the dill. Okay, time to get this dump ranch going. So it does require some parsley. Now this is gonna go in with an immersion blender, so I don't have to chop it up 100%, but I do kind of get it. So that's good enough, a rough chop. And it takes 3 tablespoons or so of dill. But you know what? I love the dill in this. I think that really gives it that ranch flavor. So I'm gonna probably go a little over. But if you want to use 3 tablespoons the first time you make it and see what you think, I'm telling you, once you make your own ranch, you're never going to buy it again. And this is dairy-free. It's super creamy. I make it on the thick side. You can always thin it out, but then you can use it as a dip. And one good way to do that is to mix it with a little bit of sriracha. Or if you want to make like a lemon aioli to dip some chicken fingers in or something, you can add more lemon, a little bit of mustard to it, and blend that together, and it's a delicious sauce. All right, that's way more than 3 tablespoons, isn't it? Okay, so I've got my parsley and my dill all chopped up. Just like to have that ready in advance. To make this, I like an immersion blender. You can do it in a traditional blender, but this just works really well. If you have one, use it. Love, love, love a mason jar, but you can use any container to blend this, but you want something big enough for the immersion blender to fit in, and on the tall side is better. But the reason why I like a mason jar for this is because it's got the measures. I don't have to be using a measuring cup and then transferring it and all that good stuff. So I need 1.5 cups of good quality extra virgin olive oil. Don't skimp on this. You mean you're only using a little bit per salad? So go good quality. And I love, of course, that this has the markings, so I don't really have to use another measure. And yeah, this makes a good amount of salad dressing, so you'll have it, and you're gonna wanna have this on hand all the time. Somebody asked me how long does it keep? I don't know, it does have eggs in it. I mean, I'm gonna say maybe 10 days, but I've had it for longer than that and it's fine. So just be sure to refrigerate it. You know, when you take it out, get it back in the refrigerator as you should. Okay, got that in there. You know what, I forgot one ingredient, and that's the Dijon. This calls for a Dijon mustard and I forgot about it. So let's get that going. I like the mustard flavor in a ranch, so I'm gonna go generous here. 1.5 tablespoons. This is Noble Made coarse Dijon mustard. Yum, it's so good. And next is gonna go these eggs. And our apple cider vinegar. Be sure to shake it because there's some residue on the bottom. You need like 1 tablespoon. So I'm just gonna do 2 capfuls. You see, I measure with the heart. That's about right. And we need about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. When lemons are in season and they're super cheap and on sale, just freeze some in an ice cube tray. You'll be glad you have it. All right, notice I didn't put all the ingredients in just yet. You want this all the way to the bottom. And surely you can't hear me with this going. Okay, you want this all the way to the bottom, and you see how it's starting to blend. You're not gonna lift this up until it's all incorporated. It's just how it works. So let's go. It's not blended in yet. Okay, so now that we've reached the top and all the oil is a little bit blended in, now I can raise and lower my blender to really get that incorporated. All right, I want you to see how thick this is, okay? Super thick. So we just made a mayonnaise here, but we're gonna thin it out. But at this point in time, I wanna add my seasonings, and we're gonna add a little bit of nut milk to thin it out. So I'm making it very herby, more than my recipe states. But like I said, you can play with this and get it to taste the way you like. Maybe you like it real mustardy, maybe you like it more lemony. It's all on you, right? So let's get some garlic in here. And it was gonna call for a couple of cloves, so I'm putting a good amount. Garlic powder as well. Again, you can modify this, but I would say you want to at least have a little bit of each of these ingredients so it will taste like ranch and what you're expecting. Oh, we're just gonna shake the onion powder straight in there. Okay, paprika, just a little bit, but it does add a nice touch. Sea salt. I'm gonna go with a generous couple of pinches. We can add some more later, but remember, you usually salt your salad. Now, ground pepper, I like a lot, so. 15 turns, so that's gonna be 1.5 teaspoons. That should be a good start. Okay, and a little almond milk. You really do need to thin this out, otherwise it's just not gonna be pourable, because it's also gonna thicken a little bit in the refrigerator. All right, let's whirl this in. All right, so we're basically done here, but I'm gonna give it a taste. Okay, it could use a touch more salt and just kind of bring out the flavors. So we're gonna add more salt, and I actually think it could use a little bit more garlic, so I'm gonna add that too, and maybe a little more pepper. But this is something that you just have to taste it and see. And you know, your herbs, sometimes they are very, very flavorful, sometimes they're kind of blah. But you can switch up the herbs that you put in here, but I think parsley and dill does give it that ranch. All right, there we have it. I have a good supply of ranch dressing here, and let me know if you love it as much as I do. I have not bought ranch ever since I made this.